program today?
I have a plea on it.
Ready when you are.
So there.
Cesare? Cesare?
You, Mr. Cesare?
Alright.
Sir, you're charged with criminal trespass. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. You've worked out an agreement. They're offering you 12 days in jail with credit for the 4 days that you've done. You need to understand that this charge will go on your record. It's going to be there for the rest of your life. You can never take it off. Do you understand? Yes or no? I need to know that you can actually understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, I can understand what you're saying.
You also need to understand that from now on, you're facing a minimum of 30 days in jail for any new cases that you pick up. You're giving up a lot of rights by entering into this agreement. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. Once you plead guilty, you can never change this, undo this. You understand? You still want to do this?
I guess I have no choice.
You got to be sure. There's no wishy-washy here because, once you do this, this isn't like Target. You could just return it because you don't like it anymore. Once you plead guilty, it's a lifetime decision you make. There's no turning around. Your other option is to go to trial. Those are the two options that you have.
I guess. Yeah.
Are you guilty of this offense? You either are or not. There's no,
No, I'm not. I'm
Okay,
not.
set it for trial.
then we set it for trial. See, the deal is this, Mr. Zaire. We don't plead people guilty who are not guilty. If you're not guilty of this offense, then they either dismiss it, or if they feel that they have a good case,
I
then we go
explained
to
this to him,
trial.
Your Honor, but I told him if you're not guilty, then we go to trial.
Right.
So
This
I'm
isn't-
not going to plea him, Your Honor.
This is not, it's not a game. This, so you either are or you're not. Reasonable minds can differ. The evidence points to whose side is correct. I haven't seen the evidence. I have no idea. When we get to trial, that's when we all get to see the evidence. But there may be, body cam, there may be videos, there may be eyewitness testimony. I don't know. But until we get to trial, I'll never know. So, you were allegedly there at the time. I have no idea. You either are or you're not.
I was visiting.
Look, I don't want you to talk about the case.
Oh, well,
And just understand, a lot of people try to justify things by what they think is right. Even though if you think something is right, if it's still against the law, it's still against the law. I don't know. That's why we give you a lawyer, for the lawyer to tell you what the law is, what happened with your case, and whether you are in fact guilty of the offense charged. I don't know. If you want a little bit more time to talk to Greg, you can. It's up to you. But, once you do this,
Speak with him, Your Honor.
yeah, once you do this, there's no turning back.
What was his last name?
Cesare.
Thank you.
Do you?
Yeah.
Come on up, Mr. Cesare.
Cesare. Oh, I already came.
I haven't talked to the attorney though, so.
Are you guilty of the offense of criminal trespass? Okay. Just understand that, from now on, you're facing a minimum of 30 days in jail. I don't know where this is from, but if you go back, chances are it's going to happen right again. So I don't know where this is from, but I probably wouldn't go back, because if you do, you're asking for trouble.
It's an apartment complex, Your Honor, just so you know.
I wouldn't go back. Just don't. Even if someone invites you, I wouldn't go back because they're going to call the laws are going to come and they're just going to mess with you. You know what I mean? That's just the reality. Now, like I said, you give up a lot of rights. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel citizen. There are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. So no more trials. We're done today. All right? Okay, man. How do you plead? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
I'm going to find you guilty. I'm going to waive your court costs so you won't owe anything. Good luck.
Just gonna give you a form, you go downstairs, you're done with this, cleared up. All right?
Okay, guys.
Thank you. Go right there. Come on, I'll show you.
Give me a second. Come on up, guys. Okay.
All right, Judge,
Let's roll, nurse.
page 3, Arraignments.
Folks, you ready? Come on, let's roll. This is Aminita
Yeah, Arenas.
Arenas.
Yes, sir.
You speak English.
Yeah, I do.
Ma'am, you're charged with tampering with a government record. You were facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. Shh. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, ma'am.
So,
Shh. The reason that we have you in custody now is that you are on felony probation for injury to your child under 15. And it looks like they've issued a warrant on that case and it's now set at no bond. So we have to take you into custody because of
but
that.
how if I was like,
Well, hold on. I don't know anything about it. I'll appoint you a lawyer. I will have the lawyer talk to you about how we can go forward. Let's first do probable cause in this case and then we'll go forward.
Yes, Judge. On January 30th, 2025, at approximately 12:23 a.m., the officer observed a vehicle traveling with high beams activated within 500 feet of oncoming traffic. A traffic stop was then initiated and the officer made contact with the defendant, the driver and sole occupant of the vehicle. The defendant provided a Texas ID and advised she is uninsured. The officer ran on TLETs, a search on the temporary tag, and could not find any records. The officer conducted a TLET search on the VIN and could not find any details, nor could dispatch. The officer was able to run a VIN through the Carfax and it came back to the same year, make, and model of the vehicle. And the officer ran a temporary tag through a management system and it showed as being involved in an accident on January 22nd, 2025, but showed as a silver 2005 Nissan. The defendant stated she bought the temporary tag from somebody and that the vehicle was dropped off at her work and mentioned that they had a silver Toyota Solaris and the Nissan Titan. The defendant observed a male swap temporary tags.
She's charged with tampering.
Yes, because she would have been aware that she did not purchase a valid registration as he saw the person she bought the vehicle from swap his tag to her vehicle when she bought it.
Say that again. I was reading something.
So she knew that she was not having a valid registration placed on her vehicle because when she purchased the car, the person she purchased it from took his registration from his vehicle and put it on hers, and she continued to drive hers, knowing that it was not the proper registration.
So then and there unlawfully, intentionally, knowingly presented and used a license to which attached hereto as Exhibit A, a governmental record with knowledge of its falsity.
She saw him swap it from his
Okay.
own for hers.
Right. All right, so ma'am, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. And what I'm going to do now is, did you say that she has a Texas driver license or she does not?
All right, Your Honor.
Okay.
It's eligible, Your Honor.
So she has a license then?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, great. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna put you back. I can't let you go because there's a felony warrant for your arrest.
Why
I will
with
appoint you a
the-
lawyer and the lawyer can explain to you why the warrant was issued and how we can go further.
But if I was in operation every month,
I'm sorry,
I was in operation every month, she didn't tell
I
me.
get it, but one of the things while you're on probation is don't pick up any new cases, right? So let's do this. I can't give you legal advice. I can't tell you how to go forward, but I'll give you a lawyer today and the lawyer will tell you and give you more advice, okay? For now, I just can't let you go. There's a felony warrant. So we'll put you in back for now and then I'll appoint someone to you, okay? Please. Can you file no, hey, hold on, Vic. Can you no license and valid insurance?
Yes, sir.
As my information, please. Okay, I'm sorry, go ahead. Matt?
Good morning, Your Honor. How are you?
What's new?
Not much. I had a last minute situation. I had to go to Montgomery County, so that's why I'm zooming in. But I have Juan Watson. Is the last name Watson?
Correct, okay. This person is here now, I'm assuming?
Yes, Your Honor. I believe he needs an arraignment.
Okay, Juan Watson, come up. No one.
Oh, is that him? There he
is
is,
that-
Judge. Um,
You are Juan Watson?
Yes.
Mr. Watson, you're charged with evading arrest or detention. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir. As you can see, your lawyer is here with you on Zoom now, so you're not alone. Okay.
Yes, Judge. On December 25th, 2024, officers arrived at a hotel in Harris County, Texas, in response to a burglary of a habitation report. The defendant had made the call and was waiting in the hotel lobby. One moment, Your Honor, let me double check.
The defendant made the call.
As well, I'm gonna read the DMs to see if maybe there's a typo in our summary.
I believe he did make the call, Your
Yes,
Honor.
Judge. Yes, Judge. So the defendant had made the call, was waiting in the hotel lobby. The defendant advised he had a weapon and ID in his backpack. The police then escorted the defendant to a hotel room to retrieve his belongings and then off the property, where it was determined there was no weapon in his backpack. An officer performed a search of the defendant and found an unholstered pistol in his pocket.
What? They just start searching? What's he doing wrong?
Allow me to read the full DIMS, Your Honor, because Your Honor, if we could have a moment so I could read this, because it seems like there's a lot more information that
Let's just read the DIMS. That's all I want to know.
the entire DIMS, Your Honor. Yes, yes, Judge. So the officer dispatched to a burglary of a habitation, later turned to an evading call for service at a hotel known as the Element. Upon arrival, the officer made contact with the defendant. The defendant was observed behind the front desk area and did not at first advise he was the caller. The defendant appeared in a nervous state of mind and at first was not forthcoming with information for the investigation. The defendant later advised he obtained a room with another person who he advised he did not know and was only known as Chaz Burke. And the defendant advised he had traveled to the room with Chaz, and upon entering into the room, there was a third male in the room already, and the defendant advised he left the area out of fear of another unknown male. The defendant advised the third male was invited to the room by Chaz, and upon briefly speaking with the front desk employee of the business, advised the defendant prior to arrival was located in the hotel lobby, only in underwear for a brief time, but advised he heard a firearm being racked, chambering around, but did not observe this action and only heard it. The employee then advised an unknown female traveled to the hotel, brought the clothing the defendant was observed wearing on scene, which was the sweats and bottoms. The defendant advised the handgun was of his when asked was located in his black backpack. He was observed to have on his person The backpack was temporarily taken possession of by the officer for safety due to the defendant advising a firearm was located inside the backpack. The defendant on scene had advised and given consent that the handgun could be obtained from the backpack and checked in TCIC, and also advised his ID was also in the backpack and could be obtained on scene by law enforcement. The room the defendant and Chaz had booked, which was number 424, was checked for Chaz or other unknown suspects with negative results, and none of the other suspects were spoken to during the investigation. The defendant advised he was traveling to the secured room in order to obtain any of his belongings in the room due to the defendant was to be criminally trespassed from the business and escorted off the business. The defendant at this point began to walk away from the deputy and continued to attempt to walk away from the deputy, but ultimately the officer escorted to the room without incident. Once the defendant was located back downstairs outside of the business, he obtained his driver's license from his backpack, and as he was conducting an NCIC check on the defendant, one of the other deputies on scene advised the handgun was not located inside the backpack as stated. The defendant was patted down for weapons on scene, and the deputy discovered a black spring-filled handgun located in the defendant's pant pocket without any type of holster for the handgun. The handgun was temporarily taken by the officer for safety. At this point, another deputy arrived on scene to detain the defendant, and the defendant was observed to be in a highly nervous state of mind, and the defendant pulled away from the deputy.
Detain him for what purpose? What's he doing wrong?
So he was being criminally trespassed, and then he had previously.
Yeah, but you give him notice and then you get him to leave.
He told the officers that there was a weapon, and the employee told them that there was a weapon, so they were patting him down because they had those facts that there was a weapon, because they didn't find it in the backpack. So, but he had just told them that there was a weapon somewhere. So they patted him down for safety, and that's where they found the handgun.
Okay.
I think, Judge, like you said, they have to give him some kind of notice that he needs to leave the premises. Just them suspecting that this might be a criminal trespass.
Well, hold on. I mean, but this isn't evading. So
Yeah,
at some
and
point,
as it-
he allegedly must take off.
And as it continues, so once they attempt to detain the defendant for officer safety due to having the handgun without declaring it, the defendant was in a nervous state, and he began to pull away from the deputy and began to flee the scene and evade deputies on the scene. So all deputies were in full issued uniform, and the defendant was given verbal commands to stop and refused all commands given to stop and continued to evade, which he was then pursued off the hotel property and onto an apartment complex. The officer continued to pursue until he lost visual sight of the defendant, and the defendant was then later positively identified on scene from his driver's license, the Illinois driver's license. So after they attempted to detain him, following that, that's when he ran from the officers.
Matt, do you have anything?
Well, I don't really understand why they were trying to detain him.
Well, I think at the end of the day, I think that what they were trying to do is perhaps they believe something nefarious, right? So they're trying to just trespass him out, which I think is well within their right. And had that just happened, and, you know, I think it would have been just, nothing else would have transpired. But the fact that due to him leaving, they're unable to perform the trespass, right? And I think that's, you know, it's problematic.
Okay.
Yeah, so Mr. Watson, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm not going to put any conditions on your bond. Just be careful. You know, you get into a pissing match with people. It's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you've got a lawyer. Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance. You don't have to waste your time coming to court, but just stay in touch with Mr. Horak and he'll tell you when you have to come back.
Okay,
I know that you live in Ohio,
yes.
right? So I'm going to waive your appearance. You don't have to come back. At some point, if you have to come back, Mr. Horak will let you know, and then
Okay.
we'll go from there.
Okay,
So for now, I'll just have you sign a reset with Victoria, and then we'll just get you out of here.
okay, thank you.
Judge, how's April 1st and the 3rd?
April 1st through the 3rd.
The second would be great, Victoria.
Got it.
It's yours.
Thank you so much,
Okay,
Judge.
man.
Maybe excused.
You got it. Have fun.
Take care.
Hi.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning.
I am approaching to see if we could amend bond conditions for two cases, actually. One of them is off docket. Is that okay? Can we-
Yes, absolutely. Good
Okay, I
morning,
have the case
Sebastian.
number.
What is it?
It's 254-9067.
I'm Wong.
Yes,
Okay.
he is here. He had the no contact with the complaining witness restriction and also the address. He lives at the home, he pays the bills. we've spoken with the complaining witness and they said they're okay with no threatening and harassing and allowed him to go back home.
Yeah. Sorry, good.
Say you,
Yes, Judge, I confirmed with the complainant, they want him back home and, we were just asked that.
my only issue is that he's a prior murder case.
Yes, Judge.
It happened.
It was so many years ago, Judge. But he has not had any issues since. I do understand the concern. He
I
was
would
convicted.
typically be more concerned. I think given the age of the murder, as well as the fact that that is his primary residence, I think it might be fair to.
Come up, Wonk. Oh, it's not on document, you said, right?
No, it's not.
So all we're doing is taking off the residential restriction, correct? That's all we're doing? Or is there's a no contact order now?
But they live together, so,
Who is the complaining witness in this case?
his girlfriend's son.
Yeah, I mean, we can do,
Have you ripped to see whether the son wants to have contact?
yeah, that's the person that I.
How old is this kid?
He's,
47,
yeah,
Judge.
he was.
Okay, so he's not young. All right, all right. So Mr. Wonk, they're asking me to amend your bond conditions to allow you to have contact. I will. I'll allow you to go back to this house, but you need to understand there are still conditions of no threatening or harassing behavior. And what you need to understand, what threatening and harassing doesn't matter what you think. I don't care what you think. It's what the other person perceives. So you need to be aware of this. I don't know what kind of relationship you have with the complaining witness, but if it's something where you're constantly butting heads, that could be problematic for you. All he has to do is just call and say, hey, man, he's at it again. You're the one that's going to go back. You understand? Okay, so just be careful. There are many vindictive people in this world. Know who your audience is at all times. So do you mind filing those? No threatening or harassing and no weapons? And then if you don't mind printing out the memo for me, I'll amend it then. Okay, Mr. Wong, we're going to need you to sign bond conditions reflecting that you understand everything. Just take a seat. Once we have you sign it, at that point, you're free to go. Okay, thanks.
Judge.
Oh, yeah, it's 254-9067. Yeah, okay.
And then I have one other on docket, Hodges. He may not show. We reset him for today to amend the bond conditions. But he's on docket. I can give you the case number off of.
Yeah, it's not on doc. What's your cost number?
It is 253-2980.
Okay.
Oh, I guess it's.
So this is a failure to give information.
Yes, so at his arraignment setting back in October, you did a no driving, and then we also put a curfew on it. He has been on those conditions since. He's done a defensive driving course. He hasn't had any bond violations or anything within that
Okay,
time.
is he here?
Yes, sir. Did I take these already? It is 253.
Come up, Mr. Hodges.
Thank you. We're just asking, so like the no driving restriction and the curfew.
Does he have insurance as well? Have you been, do you have liability insurance in your name?
Car insurance?
In your name? You do have car insurance in your name? As long as you have a Texas driver license and liability insurance, but you have to have it in your name, right? At that point, I'm going to allow you to drive, but you need to understand that it's a privilege. It's not a right. So if I see you acting a fool in the car, I will take it away again, and I'm not going to play this game again with you. Do you understand? Okay, all right.
Thank you, Judge. And the curfew,
Does he have any other open cases elsewhere
he
too?
does in Galveston,
Yeah, over there.
a DWI. However, I mean, he works, he's an electrician, he works 2 hours away. And so the curfew hasn't allowed him to work any overtime or any late nights.
How long do you want? What do you want?
Can we just take it off completely? I mean, he's been on it since October and he's shown that he can be consistent and that he wouldn't have any trouble. Looking at it now, I think he deserves a second chance.
Okay, we'll see. If you pick up a third case, I'm gonna absolutely lose it. Do you understand? Make good decisions. We're not asking for much. You endanger my public. I'm gonna I'm gonna go nuts on your bond. Do you understand? Okay, all right, we'll give you a chance.
Judge, we're removing the DPS completely, correct?
Correct. All right, Mr. Pons. Hey,
Mr. Proctor, again on the docket for, he's got a
is he back there? Okay.
reverted bond on his terroristic threat, raise it to 7. Would you lower it to 5,000?
Yes.
Okay. And then,
So hold on a second.
conditions,
What's it now? It's at,
7,000.
so what I'll do is, 5,001.
Okay. And then conditions on the, DWI.
Just standard conditions that, I mean, does he have any other, do you know if he has any other DWIs?
No, I don't think so.
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so just no alcohol, no dope, no weapons, no contact with the complaining witness in the terroristic threat. Just standard bond conditions, but let him know. If he picks up a third case, all bets off.
Gotcha.
And then, Mr. Pons, I just sent you an email.
Yeah.
So-
I was gonna ask you, because I did a lot of work to not work that Monday, that Super Bowl Monday.
You want the next day?
Yes. Okay.
Absolutely.
I'll see you Tuesday then.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, man. see you.
I'll let Victoria know. Hi. Yes. What's going on with you, man?
Here on Mr. Matthew Adolph, the state has just filed a nollie on that case.
Okay,
He's on his way back from,
I'll sign it. I mean, if they're dismissing it today, then there's no need to address anything, you know?
he's on his way back from the VPR. That's passed, so it's a moot point. So
right.
it should be in your queue.
Okay, I'll send it right now.
All right, thank you, Judge.
You got it.
Maybe excuse.
Yes, sir.
God
Thanks.
bless.
Hi, Sean, how are you, man? If you want a copy of the nollie, we can give it to you now. I'm signing it now. Okay. Hi, Sean.
I have one. It's the top of page 12, just trying to avoid using the name with it.
Okay. What do you want to do?
So we are working with felony right now, kind of going up the ladder at the DA's office about possibility of a diversion for upstairs that will, I believe, work this one out. Chris went upstairs and talked.
You representing him upstairs?
Yeah, yes, sir. Here and
Yeah, we're co-counseled on both of them.
Okay, great.
We feel optimistic about it, but we just haven't gotten a full answer since there's been the change in administration and all that. So everybody.
So did he have a PTI in the first? Is that why?
This is the evading that he's charged with. I have my own serious doubts about, but I think in his interest, he's trying to seek a PTI on that. That may result in a plea in this case. But we're trying to kind of
So,
work out
but
the
it's, the
details.
problem is that it's old.
Yeah.
So how long do you want? I mean, we got to set a time. I got to give you a time limit, right? Just, it's 220 days now.
And can we go about 30 days? That
At
will,
that point, I don't care. I'm going to set you for trial though.
Okay.
Like you're out of time at that time. At that, you're at 250 days and that, you know, it's just too much, right? So I will give that to you, but that's the last setting.
okay,
Okay?
Thank you.
So do what you can to try to work it out as fast as you can, but that's it.
okay.
Discovery's complete, right?
No, we are missing the search warrant and search warrant affidavit.
And then I'm going to have a big problem with this. And then I'm going to set this for if you guys are missing something at 220 days, Alex, I'm going to have a big problem with this.
Judge, just let me confirm.
Regardless, your cutoff day with this case is 250 days. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this, if you're truly lacking something, I'm setting this for a discovery hearing. And if you don't get it within that time, that's it.
Yes, Judge, it appears we're still missing the warrant, so we'll reach out immediately so we can get it.
Setting it for a 10-day discovery hearing.
Hey, discovered here.
You don't have absolutely everything.
Yes,
It's
Judge.
not going to go well for you.
Yes,
That's
Judge.
it. It's unacceptable that at 220 days, you're still missing a warrant.
At that 10-day hearing, will his appearance be required or will it be waived?
You can be waived. It's not a big deal. So we're on top of page 12. They're still missing a discovery. So I'm setting it for a 10-day discovery hearing. What I would do is I would subpoena the officer to come to court,
Yes, Judge.
Lucis Tecum,
And we'll have them,
but
we'll
yeah.
find it your own.
so set it for 10 days. But the cutoff with this case regardless is 250 days. At that point, it's clear trial. So, okay, guys, see you in 10 days.
Thank you.
thank you.
Oh, and hey, Judge.
Hi, Marcus.
Got a plea, Mr. Gonzalez Hernandez.
Okay. You ready?
I call him up.
Please.
Do you have the cause number?
Yes, thank you.
Our friend, Mr. Martinez, has not made it up, so hopefully he'll come up tomorrow, Judge.
Say it
Our
again.
guy from yesterday.
Are you posting bond?
I don't think he's posted bond. No, I don't see an ISO, so I guess we'll see.
Really? No one's gonna post it for him? No one's gonna post it for him?
I don't know yet.
Por favor, conteste a voz alta.
Good morning, Mr.
Buenos
Gonzalez
días, señor
Hernandez.
González Hernández. Good morning.
Are charged with driving while intoxicated. First offense, it's elevated to a Class A misdemeanor because of the high blow. So you are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine.
Multa de $4,000.
You guys have worked out an agreement. They're offering you 1 year in Harris County Jail.
Año en la cárcel
For that to be probated for 15 months.
de meses.
Is this a second or a
Es
first?
la segunda y
True
la primera.
first?
True
La
first.
primera.
As part of the agreement for you to successfully complete this, you must do a DWI education class.
Hace de
You must do a victim impact panel.
tener un panel de
You must also do a TRAS. This is an evaluation to see what other conditions you may need.
condiciones
If they
necesarias.
assess other conditions, you must fulfill these conditions as well.
Tener
Substance abuse treatment,
también. Eso incluye tratamiento.
no breath test refusal,
Pero,
meaning that if you're pulled over while driving a car and an officer asks you to submit a breath sample,
no, y el
you must do it.
aliento-
No drugs, alcohol. You must have a guardian interlock and 30 hours
30
of
horas.
community service. Does he have a Texas driver license?
He
de
does not drive.
licencia de
You are
manejar.
not allowed to drive. I want you to understand, I take this absolutely serious and you will be signing a promise with me today as part of your probation that you're not going to drive.
Como parte de
There's
su
nothing worse that you can do in this life than doing two things. Three, picking up a new case, drinking alcohol, or driving. Those things will land you in custody faster than anything else.
rápido.
And if you're not in this country with permission, and you go back to jail, it may be your very well last time that you
Última vez.
are here. Do you understand?
Entiende. I do.
You're giving up the right to a trial, right
Derecho
to
a juicio.
compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible
Ciudadano.
immigration
Hay
consequences. You can
posibles
be deported,
consecuencias migratorias.
excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal.
Su
Once you
derecho a
plead guilty to this offense, it will go on your record. You will never be able to take it off.
sacarlo.
Do you understand?
Entiende.
You also need to understand that if you
Entienden
get pulled
que-
over in the future, you're in a car driving, an
Ando.
officer, the first thing they do is they look at your driving record.
Hace
If they see a prior DWI and they come up to your window and they smell alcohol or they smell something
huelen
funky,
alcohol.
it's not going to go well for
Se
you.
va a ir bien.
And from now on, you are facing a
Claro.
minimum of 90 days in jail
Mínimo.
for any new cases that you pick up.
En caso nuevo que usted le da.
Do you understand?
Entiende. I do.
All right. How do you plead to the offense? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
I will find you guilty, send you to the agreement. Good luck to you, sir.
Buena suerte, señor.
Thank you, Judge.
The fee, the fee.
Wait, the thing, okay, is it?
So, hold on, Tony. I need you to tell him one more thing. I want you to understand
Para que
something.
usted entienda.
That
algo
DWI is extremely big business in Harris County and in Texas.
grande.
There is a $3,500 surcharge that typically would apply to you
3,500
on these types of cases. I will waive it for you now because it is a first offense. On a second DWI offense, it is a $6,000 surcharge. And if you don't pay it,
$6,000. Si no lo
you do a
paga,
ton of jail time.
están en la
Do
cárcel
you understand?
tiempo. ¿Lo
So
entiende?
get a clue. If you want to
Entienda.
drink, don't get into a car.
Metan un carro.
All
Thank you,
right.
Judge. Appreciate it.
You ready? Wait.
Your Honor, it's actually off docket and it's just for bond conditions. We were here last week on the Devontae Levi. You want to
Okay.
do somewhere?
Yeah, sure.
254-8452. So you were going to bond with them a new one. You ordered bond conditions, but they were not entered. So we're back again.
So let's enter it now and we can have him sign it and that way we're.
Okay, well, there's no notes of the conditions. So if you could please order them again.
Remind me what happened again, Alex, please, if you don't mind.
One moment, pulling it up. Let's see.
And I talked to Mackenzie, Gary. The judge wants a reminder.
Oh, it's 254. Yeah.
He's still in custody, right?
No, Your Honor, he's on bond.
Was he here?
Yes, judges, please.
So, come up, Mr. Levi. Or is it Levy or Levi?
Is it Levy or Levon? Levy, you're on.
Okay. Mackenzie, do you mind?
Yes, so on January 21st, 2025, an officer made contact with the complainant. The complainant stated the defendant, she knew him from a previous dating relationship. The complainant stated she ended her relationship after finding out she was 6 weeks pregnant and was paying the defendant's phone line until she turned it off on the 21st of 2025. And the defendant started sending her threatening messages on the 16th, 2025, stating that he was going to make somebody jump on you and knock your teeth out, and delusional hoes like you deserve to die. The complainant stated she went to turn off the defendant's phone line on the 18th, and the defendant is now using Wi-Fi to continuously threaten and harass, with the last message on the 21st of 2025. The complainant is in fear for her life, and the defendant was ID'd by his Tennessee driver's license.
Got it. Okay. So he's also on probation. Are you representing him on his probation case upstairs?
That was terminated, Your Honor. It was early terminated.
So he's not on probation now?
No,
So, Mr. Levi, or Levy, I'm ordering you not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or illegal drugs, I will put you back in jail. Do you understand? You're not to have any contact with the complaining witness in this case, and you're not to be in possession of weapons as well. Did we do a,
there's a
MOA?
note. It has not been signed, Your Honor. It's in
Okay.
the system, but it was not signed.
Right, so I'm entering now what's called a magistrate's order for emergency protection that identifies Ms. Beck as a protected individual. You cannot commit family violence or an assault against this person. Commit an act in furtherance of an offense under section 42.072 of the Texas Penal Code, which is the stalking statute. You cannot threaten, harass, use another person to communicate a threat or harassing behavior. You cannot go within 200 feet of where she lives or where she works. Do you understand? If you violate this court order, the state can and will file a violation of protective order against you, and that is the capital murder of misdemeanors. You pick up a case like that, it's really going to go sideways quick. Stay away and control the temper, because if you become a danger to my community, I'm going to unleash on you. Do you understand? I don't care who you are. I don't care where you're from, but I'm going to protect my community at all costs. We will have you sign the order for protection. I'll have you meet with Felicia for bond conditions, and after that, you guys are free to go.
Thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate it.
Yeah, let me give you a cost number. Ready? 254-8452. Hi.
Good morning, Judge.
Come on up. Yes. No. Come on. We're waiting on lawyers.
Off docket, if I can give you a cause number, it's on Mr. Chason Booker. It is 2521808, and I am here to request a modification of bond conditions this weekend. Mr. Booker has guard service, and I have a confirmation he will be in Corpus Christi. So he's asking that the 7th through the 9th, his curfew be modified to 4 a.m. to midnight so he can make it to Corpus Christi in the morning. It's a 4-hour drive from his base.
Okay. All right.
Thank you, sir, and obviously it would be.
Yeah, just let her know, but then after that, that's.
Absolutely, Judge. We're trying desperately to work this out. Thank you, sir.
Yes, good morning, Judge. I'm here on Mr. Adan Vides.
Okay.
I got a case number if you need.
No, I got it. So what's going on?
Judge, so he's already paid the restitution. He had to do a 2-hour anger management course. He said he was working on it. I believe he should get it done by this morning. I just haven't been able to get the certificate just yet. If we can just have until maybe Monday, I can get the certificate to the
I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do it. He's literally had since November. We're now February 6th. We've literally reset him 2 other times for him to get it done. I'm not going to do that.
I understand, Judge.
He's got to be here. Is he here now or no?
I just messaged him, Judge. He should be in the courtroom. Let me just check, Judge.
Adon, be this. He's not here.
Understood, Judge. I'll contact him and I'll be on standby. I'll confirm
Okay.
that he has that
Not a
certificate.
problem. Just let me know.
Yeah, thank you, Judge.
Take care.
Judge, my apologies to interrupt. I did get him to send me the certificate of completion and I just emailed it to Mackenzie. I just texted him to appear in court.
Okay. I'm going to have you send it to someone else. I'm going to
Yeah.
chat you the email, okay?
Yes, Judge.
Hold on. I'm gonna patient it here. And so we just got an email regarding Adon Vida. For dismissed, huh? I'm sending you the certificate, just so that, okay?
Yes, Judge.
Just give me a second. Once they file it, then we're done.
Sure, Judge.
You ready?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, good morning. I have like 3 on your docket.
Okay.
Or 4. First one is Mr. Forbes. He's entering PTI today. We're
Great.
just submitting everything.
Okay.
Next one is Mr. Pujos. He has a TRAS date for 2/10.
Is he here now?
No, he
No.
has a TRAS date for 2/10.
Okay. I guess we'll set it for 2 weeks after, assuming that he goes. If he doesn't go, then he'll have to be here the next.
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
Next one is Luis Sanchez de Armas.
What about the mitigation package? Was that something?
Yeah, but he's already been approved.
Yeah, okay.
He wouldn't get a TRAS date if he's not approved.
Okay, tell me about Sanchez de Armas.
Sanchez de Armas, I think, well, they just released a 911.
We just got it yesterday, Your Honor.
Yeah. And then I think Ms. Siegler wants to look at it again before they make a decision whether they want to dismiss or separate or.
So I'm gonna do it, it's 180 days. We'll do it a week. I'll
Sure.
waive the appearance and then come back.
Sure.
If you are interested in a PTI, then,
No, it's not a PTI case.
okay, got it. So at the next setting, if they say no, you're gonna set it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, who's next?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm going to recommend to my client and my client will decide.
Sure.
Okay, the next one is Villegas, Your Honor. That's evaluated.
Another one?
Yes. That one I don't think has been evaluated yet.
Okay, so I guess let's do the same thing. Is it the same thing where you're
No,
gonna?
well, again, that one, I'm not sure about, I mean, I'll still recommend it, but that client is, on
So
the fence.
we'll, same thing, we'll do a week.
Okay.
And then depending on what they say, we'll come back, make a decision on which one it is.
Thank you.
Okay?
And I'm not having fun water. Just for the.
Yeah.
You're good. I'll have something. You can do it.
Are you ready for me?
All right, for this, we're waiting on the supervision.
Yes, it's already, I can forward it to you.
Oh, you have it?
Yes, ma'am. I mean, I don't have the supervision order, it's with me. We just, my office just turned everything on.
Okay, I'll just wait for it to be filed.
Yeah.
What's your next one?
Diegas, is that Diegas?
Vegas just said one week to decide. February 15th.
Judge, I did get that sent over. Did I still need to have defendant appear in court?
Mackenzie, are you ready to file a
Yes,
A nollie on
sorry,
it?
Judge. I thought it was a different case at first. I just uploaded the receipt and I will follow the nollie right now.
Okay, yeah, you're good to go. They're gonna file a nollie now.
I understand, Judge. I'll let the client know that he doesn't need to appear, correct?
I'm sorry?
Did the defendant need to appear
No,
for anything?
No, they've dismissed it. You're good
Understood.
to go.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay.
Have a
take
good day.
care.
Thank you.
You too.
Corbus?
Church.
Great. Yeah.
I mean, if it's multiple, then that's it. I'm not playing this game.
Okay.
Signed it for.
So it's Jennifer Flores?
Yeah, instead of 8. Yeah. She was set for arraignment today. Okay, we have
So SFBF Monday.
Okay. And the other one was Jones on page 20.
And we already did one SFBF, right?
Yes.
Okay, so this one gets, if he's not here by the end of docket, then it gets revoked.
Wow, that's crazy. And the bottom one, like,
Oh, and he picked up a new case.
well, no, Judge, this was, he was arrested at the same time for both cases, but they put one on Monday and one today. Oh, we did. Hey.
Hey,
She wasn't my right. She's not here today, it's supposed to be, and I'm gonna be the case, their teams. Yes. Okay, great. That's not your. Yeah, that's great. Perfect. Now before recess. I don't think so I did the. I need to hear. So waiting on. Huh, why someone email me that? Right, I'll use, yeah.
Okay, cool.
So you could. But yeah, you didn't. Well, you don't add,
Jesus, it's history. I'm kidding.
Wow. I think you did that good though in your investigation.
Judge, may we approach?
Hi, yes.
We're here on Ronnie Granger.
Danger. Okay.
We are approaching just for bond conditions.
Did he just get out, I'm assuming?
You want him to come up to?
Please.
Yes.
How you doing? Good. It's gonna be the bond condition.
Shh. Can you please read to me what happened in this case?
Yes, Judge. So on January 14th, 2024, an officer at 3:14 a.m. was dispatched to a disturbance call at 4800 Hollister Street. Upon arrival, the officer made contact with the defendant who was inside his vehicle. Officers attempted to box in the defendant with emergency lights on. The defendant reversed out and evaded in his motor vehicle. The officers pursued the defendant for 6 miles until he lost control and crashed out on the 9100th block of Northwest Freeway. The defendant ran out of his vehicle and the officers were able to chase him down and take him into custody. The complainant told the officer that the defendant was asleep and woke up feeling paranoid and thought somebody was trying to kill him. The complainant tried to calm the defendant down. The defendant acted as if he was going to hit the complainant. The defendant began to follow the complainant around the apartment in an unnatural manner. The complainant started to feel fear. The complainant started to call 911 and told the defendant she was. The defendant grabbed the phone from her and grabbed the phone from her hand as the dispatcher was on the line and hung up. The defendant grabbed the complaining witness's daughter's phone in her second attempt to call 911 and hung up the phone. The defendant grabbed a knife and said, "I'm going to kill you," 2 times, but never came at the complainant with the knife. The defendant left the apartment and went to sit in his car. The complainant went to her neighbor's where she was finally able to call 911 successfully.
Know whether she wants to have contact with me.
Absolutely no contact, Judge. I've spoken with her. Shh. It's a very traumatizing situation for the complainant.
Mr. Granger, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Do you know what conditions the felony court has placed on him?
They have not placed no contact with it, which is why I wanted to approach with you today, Judge. They have placed disappear, no new crimes, no drugs, alcohol, no firearms. And that is it.
Yeah. Because it actually is more.
From what I've been told from the complainant as well, she did get a 90-day protective order as well successfully.
Granger, I want you to understand that I'm going to do everything in my power to protect my community at all costs. If I find that you become a danger to my community, if I find that you try to have contact with the complaining witness, if you pick up a 5th case, I'm going to go absolutely bonkers. Do you understand? You are not to have contact with the complaining witness in this case. You are not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs, and I'm going to randomly test you. If they call on you to go take a test and you fail to go, a warrant will issue for your arrest. If you have any kind of weapons, you go anywhere near the complaining witness, likewise, I will revoke the bond and put you in jail. Do you understand?
Yes.
So no weapons.
Counsel, just one minute. Oh, great.
No going within 200 feet of where the complaining witness lives or works. There are no children involved, are
Yes,
there?
there are
Children
children
and
involved, and
one
children were on the
away.
scene of the incident.
He has two kids, that's his wife, two kids, and they're expecting one. When are y'all expecting one?
August.
It doesn't matter that you have one, you're not to have contact with this person. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
If you're gonna have contact with the kids, which you very well should, use an intermediary. You can use counsel, you can use anyone else, but don't take matters into your own hands. Don't go over there. It's not gonna go well for you. Do you understand? Okay, so you have a lawyer. It is your responsibility to stay in touch with her. If she tells you she can't get a hold of you because you're ducking and dodging, likewise, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. You understand? Okay, so we'll have him sign bond conditions. You guys are free to go.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, please. Thank you. So Mackenzie, I guess just reach out to her, let her know what the conditions are. You know, give her access to you so that if something should happen, she has a way to get in contact with someone easily to let us know. Okay?
Wow. All right.
Call Marcos.
Council for recess?
Calling Marcos Edward.
Hey, on homeboy for you yesterday, do you want me to send him for a T-Ride? I can expedite him over to sir. Chitori, will you, on yesterday's case that we took into custody, can you look to see how soon we could do an in-custody T-Ride? Is it possible to get it done today? Maybe tomorrow? Okay. Marcos. He's not here, he's in processing, right? If we get him tomorrow, we can have someone come up and do it tomorrow. You know, and then, you know, we could perhaps even do, how long have we been? I don't know about reinstatement. Therapy. My concern, I think it's high school was done. Because the other offer was, 30 days in jail, which he did not want to go down. I get it, but I mean, I want to have, what my intent was to have the TRAS done so we know exactly where we're going because sober court do need sober court, but we need the assessment done first before we can do it.
But he's also doing probation tear down. You have 22 months in your mess. So.
But we don't know what's going on there. I don't know whether he's going to get help that he actually needs, and Who represents him there, do you know? Because maybe we can, if somehow kind of make them together. You know, or perhaps if they know how arduous and labor intensive ours is, maybe
Right.
they'll ease up on theirs. I don't know,
Okay.
you know?
Well, I'll see if somebody puts something to do with tomorrow. I still expedite it, so hopefully they can get the report done by the end of the day.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay.
Yeah.
No problem.
If that's the issue, then perhaps the next day I'm with you.
Okay,
So we know that we can just get it done and move it and we know where we're going.
perfect. Thanks, Ed.
Mr. Preston, how are you? What's new?
I have Mr. Juan Guerrero with you.
Okay,
Juan has an ice hold. He's not gonna be getting out of jail. So we'll need to approach.
24.
where do you want to go now? What do you
With
want to
him?
do? Yeah,
Trying to get a deal for jail time on one and dismiss the other. Kelsey needs some time to check with her supervisor to see whether that would be okay.
I get it. It's only 17 days old, so I can't imagine that they have
Yeah.
probably any evidence.
So we're just trying to do a short reset.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you want a week, 2 weeks, whatever you want.
Real short. Judge.
Yeah, just you let me know.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Eric, hi bud.
I'm here on Mr. Washington, first name Michael.
Bond or custody?
Bond.
Okay.
And he is present.
Council for reset.
Okay, what's the word?
He has two cases, reckless driving and a pistol case out of the same transaction.
Okay.
State has offered him PTI with a bunch of things to dismiss.
We got that off for December 23rd, or I'm sorry,
January 23rd.
January 23rd.
So he signed the contract this morning, so he can get started on all of the things. So he just needs time to do defensive driving, decision-making, gun safety class, and then a $100 donation to the food bank.
Michael Washington, come up. So it's 180 days.
I know, that's why I
You
don't.
know, I'll give you 3 weeks, but if he's not done by then,
He doesn't have to do community service hours.
Right. So, you know, you've been given a great offer, right? They're willing to dismiss both your cases. All you have to do are 3 classes. Your case is 182 days old. I'm not giving you much time to get it done. If you don't have the wherewithal to have it done within a couple of weeks, I'm setting your case for trial. Do you understand? Okay, man. All right. Good luck. Couple weeks.
Judge.
Hi.
Approach briefly.
Of course.
How you doing?
How are you?
I had filed a motion to sub refused sub out Mike Snyder.
Is it on today?
It's on the docket today.
Okay, I'll sign it.
But I think I didn't have the and that's been a problem. Slider.
We have a motion to sub.
I'm not doing one now.
Just, yeah. Just have you talked to Slider yet?
Yes, I've only been knowing him since I was 13. So this-
The only problem is it's old.
Right, and I know we need to get moving, and I was wondering what happened, because I never could get the information, but I didn't file the order, so that's on me.
Right. Okay, yeah, I'll sign it now. Talk to the state, see where you're at, and then just let me know.
Maybe one reset and going one way or another.
Okay.
I just need to see the information.
Council for reset.
Val. How are you?
I'm doing well, Judge. Thank you for asking. How are you?
You know.
Good. I'm approaching on Lan Nguyen is the last name, Nguyen.
I see it.
State's been attempting to get in touch with the complaining witness. Been a while.
you guys set an investigator in October.
Yeah, and the issue is we need a Vietnamese interpreter because every person we get in contact with, the last person, they don't speak it. So we're
4 months though, you know?
So we'll try reaching out as soon as we can. Today, we'll try keeping in touch with a Vietnamese interpreter, but that's the issue, is we can't communicate. Yes, Judge.
At a week, that's it.
Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Waiting on somebody.
I can help you.
I'm with
Okay. Okay, so, last note we have on this one is that I believe Slider is the mitigation packet on this. So now it's back in October, so do you know if it will
happen is my father. That's why I never had, so I don't see that.
Okay.
I'm sure we'll make them on the same thing.
Okay, gotcha. Right. Yeah, because look at it. Gotcha, and that's for PTI, don't ever do that, otherwise we already have a time cert offer on there. That's why.
But he has a PTI.
Well, contingent, first do the mitigation packet, let us look at it, and then we'll determine if.
Okay. Judge, may we approach? So he has a PTI offer contingent on the packet.
Well, if we'll offer, we'll put a PTI, once we look at the mitigation packet, we'll determine if we're willing to make an offer of PTI.
So how long do you want? What was the last name again?
Hughes. I'll be attached to the case today, so I can.
He's here, right?
Yes, he is.
Lee Hughes, come up.
I went outside and talked to him, so he's standing right there. She's going to get him.
Okay, great.
Doing okay?
Doing great. Thanks, you.
Seems like everybody has this little nasal deal.
My daughter suffers, man.
Trying to get on the other side.
What up, Mr. Hughes? Your lawyer is trying to work a deal where he's trying to get an intervention agreement for you. You need to turn in what's called a mitigation packet to try to secure that kind of agreement from the state. As with anything in life, you get what you put in. If you put your heart and soul into it, you can achieve damn near anything. But if you put something together, it looks like you did the night before on a bar napkin, don't expect much. He's going to ask stuff for you. If you don't put your heart into it and soul into it, don't expect much. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Now, your case is 190 days old. I'm going to give you one last setting. You will not get any more time after this. I will give you 3 weeks, 4 weeks, but after that time, you're done. If you have not completed your side of the bargain, I'm going to set your case for trial. You get no more time. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you got 30 days. That's it. All right, we'll have you see.
You're welcome. Now, before we start.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Mr. Cruz. Amari Cruz, shall I call him up?
Now, before we start. Oh, arraignments?
Yeah.
Nate, top page, Nate.
You, Mr. Amari Cruz Serrano. Yes, sir. Sir, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On January 30th, 2025, the officer was dispatched to a major crash on West Dallas Street in Harris County, Texas. The officer observed a bumper part of the motor vehicle at the scene where the defendant's vehicle struck a pole. The license plate was attached to the bumper, which came back to a blue Toyota Corolla when ran. A wheel witness saw the motor vehicle parked on the shoulder of North Freeway, matching the description given out by the officer on the side of the freeway, with the defendant in the driver's seat. The wheel witness observed the defendant get out of the vehicle to change his tire, and the wheel witness stayed on scene. The officer observed the defendant kneeling by the front passenger tire, instructed the defendant to step away from the vehicle to come over to him, and observed bloodshot eyes, a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage, and then administered standard field sobriety tests. HGN 6 out of 6, walk and turn 4 out of 8, one leg stand 0 out of 4. The defendant was read the DIC and consented to breath. The results were 0.082 and 0.083. The defendant then stated he was coming from a bar. Was just broken up. He had 1 drink of Hennessy and Coca-Cola, though he later stated he had 2 drinks, and that his missing damaged bumper happened in the past, and that the bumper was probably at his home.
Okay. Any prior DWIs?
No, Your Honor. And his license is eligible.
Got it. All right, Mr. Cruz Serrano, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. You're going to be randomly tested. If I find that you're consuming alcohol, any kind of illegal drugs, I will revoke your bond, put you in jail. No more PR bonds. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
As long as you have a valid Texas driver license and liability insurance, you may continue to drive. But if you don't have one or the other, then you're not allowed to drive. And that's also a condition of your bond. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, you have a lawyer. Because you have one, I will waive your appearance. You don't have to waste your time coming to court, but you must stay in touch with counsel and he will tell you when you have to come back to court. If he tells me he can't get a hold of you because you're playing games, you're not responding to phone calls, text messages, you pick up a new case, you become a danger to my community, I only have one place for you. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. I'll have you sign a receipt of Victoria. We'll have you meet with Felicia of your bond conditions and then you're free to go.
Thank you, Your Honor.
But yes,
Hi, Judge. On Sidney Robinson, he is set for bond forfeiture today. It was a case where he has a charge here and a fugitive case. He was extradited. We reset it today for me to see if I can track him down, and I did.
oh, great.
I know.
So what happened?
Well, I can confirm as of last night at 5 p.m. He is in the Adams County Jail with a discharge date of April 5th. I've been in contact with his mother, who confirmed as much. He pled in Adams County, so he's just serving out a sentence. So,
Hey, you know, I'm happy that you're able to get
yeah.
that kind of information. We'll give you time.
So when would you like to set it? April 5th is when he gets out in Colorado.
Does he live here or does he live over there? Do you know?
Hold on, I do know.
I think he lives here, right?
He lives here. He lives here. The probation was transferred to Texas
So let's set it for a week
after April 5th.
discharge date,
Okay,
setting it for bond for.
great. Yes.
Get everything done. And then after that, it's still not going to be old, right? We'll still at that point be
No, it's January 11th, so it would be,
80, 90 days old. So after that point, now that I know that I have hands on him, I'll waive your appearance after that.
okay,
So-
great. And we are still waiting on evidence on it too.
I got it. So let's SFBF, the next setting, he's got to be here. After that, we'll waive.
And then Arenas is a new case I got. She just got taken in on a felony warrant, so I'm assuming you don't need any like conditions. It's a tampering license plate.
The only one I did was just no driving without, you know, a license and insurance. And he said that she had a valid license. So.
Sure. Okay, thanks.
Thanks.
I'm more important.
Yes.
She said that she wanted all of the counties to be on sentence today.
That's what we should Okay. Go ahead.
Matt Pro Judge? Good morning, Judge.
How are you?
I'm here in Orellana, Carranza.
There or there?
He was in custody, he bonded out. I know there was an immigration hold, detainer. It was never lifted, but he's out. I don't know where he is.
Oh, he's not here.
Not here.
That's no bueno.
I know. I didn't even know he had bonded out until about a week, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Tell everybody that
Yeah,
bond out, you got to be here.
I tell him the same thing.
So let's do this. I'll give you till Monday. I'll SFBF Monday. Do what you can to reach out,
Yeah.
you know,
Send him a
family
letter
or whoever.
today.
If they're not here Monday,
I know. And he possibly, he's in immigration, possibly get deported, so I don't know.
oh,
It's a possibility because the immigration detainer doesn't say hold lifted. It says a hold, but it was never lifted. Then when you check the record, it says he bonded out. So I don't know how that was possible for him to bond out.
when you look on the master docket though, won't it say whether they get deported or not? You know? Who's Eric,
Last time I had somebody that did immigration.
you do a little bit of immigration, right?
I used to use this.
So if you have someone that goes to immigration from here, now Tony doesn't know if they got released or they got deported. When you look on the master docket, you know how you pull up the master docket, it'll say that they're at the Greens Road or wherever they are. Will it say whether they got deported
No,
or
but you
not?
can call the 1-800 number. So if you look up the
Immigration?
1-800 status
Good
number,
luck.
and then, no, it's an automated number. And you just type in the A number, and then it just tells you it's an audio recording, and it'll say
A
the
number, the
judge,
alien number.
right, and it'll say the judge ordered
A number, I can
removal.
get it.
Yeah, I need the alien number.
Hold on.
And it'll be, the A number will be, if, did he have an ICE hold?
Yeah, the nose hole.
So if you go to so if you go to the district clerk site and you click on holds, the A number will be there.
District clerk here or
Mhm.
district
Yeah,
clerk in the feds?
No, here.
Do you need the country of origin too?
No, you just need the A number. And with that, you can type in the A number on the automated number and it'll tell you what's the last thing that happened in immigration court. It'll either say removed, deported, or it'll say there's a new master scheduled on whatever date.
I'll give him another date.
Mhm.
Tony, I'm printing this out for you. It's, I think one of those should be the A number where it says the warrant number, and then we'll put it on for Monday and you let me know.
Okay, well, thank you.
Yes, thanks. Hey,
So good news, Meyer's gonna put it.
okay.
We're ready whenever you are.
Oh, okay. You ready?
Yes.
Timothy Meyer, come up. All right. Mr. Meyer, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. You guys have worked out an agreement where they're offering you 15 days in jail with credit for the 5 days that you've done. You need to understand that this charge is going to go on your record. It's going to be there for the rest of your life. You get pulled over in a car. All officers do is they look at your record and then they look at you. If they smell alcohol and they see that you have a prior to WI, it's probably not going to go well for you. Do you understand? So if you're going to drink, you can have, well, I don't care. Just, you need to understand this, man, because you still have the next 40 years that you could potentially be driving. And the law, they don't give a rat's behind about it. All they care about is whether you have a prior, you smell like dope or alcohol now, they're going to take you in. You also have to understand from now on, it's a minimum of 30 days in jail. No more proverbial slaps on the wrist. Do you understand? You're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization, you give up the right to appeal. Once you accept this agreement, you can never change this or undo this. It will go on your record forever. Is this what you want to do? How do you plead to the office of driving while intoxicated?
Guilty, sir.
I'm going to find you guilty. Tell me why it got so old again. Do you know?
I don't, Judge. I mean, he lives in New Mexico, so I'm not really sure how this came to be. Were you just in New Mexico the whole time?
No, I was here for over a year and it happened during the height of COVID. It just took a couple years to even go to trial.
Come to court. Good things happen. You know, really. So when you pick up future criminal cases, come to court. Now, I don't know if you have any prior DWIs, but you got to understand the third DWI, because if you have a prior DWI, this one now makes 2. A third, you're looking at a felony charge, 2 to 10 in the penitentiary. So you got to be very careful if you have any priors. Do you understand? Okay, guys. Good luck. Now, I'm going to run at CC.
Thank you, Judge.
Oh, one more thing. I have to suspend your license. I'm going to do it for 90 days. Do not drive until you get a license. All right? Okay, guys. Run at CC, everyone.
And Judge, on your jail docket, Lopez Jacinto, he's going to waive the fugitive. So we'll wait for the interpreter to get here. Then we'll bring him up.
We'll bring him up. Okay. Ready? Yeah. Eric, thanks for helping him out.
Yes, yes, sir. I have it's Jaramillo Jimenez on the docket.
Okay.
This is kind of an interesting situation because I believe he was in immigration as well. And
someone else that's represented.
Right.
Okay.
So his family hired me in December. I filed an attorney of record. I filed a motion to sub, and I came to court, but I guess I was never attached on it. And once he got out of immigration, he basically told the family, well, y'all picked Eric and I didn't pick him. I had picked another attorney. So I'm fine with the other attorney on it because he's still filing stuff on the case. He's still making appearances for him. I just need to make sure I don't need to file a motion to withdraw because technically I was never attached.
We know if Mr. Landrio is going to be here today?
Saw that he filed like a discovery motion recently, so I'm assuming he is.
Jaramillo. Give me a second. Let me call him real quick, just to make sure. So you're right. It looks like he filed a motion for discovery on January 6th. I guess we'll wait for him.
Okay.
See if he shows.
Yeah, either way, he told me a couple of days ago that he does not want me to be his lawyer.
Okay, well, then yeah.
I just need to
Here.
I'm sure I've never met him.
Jaramillo Jimenez.
Council's here, Judge.
Okay.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. So you're here for Chilandria, right?
Yes, Your Honor, that's my law partner.
Right. Okay, so you're here with it because Eric initially was hired by the family, but I guess the defendant is saying that he wants you guys to represent him.
Yes,
So
Your Honor.
you're not, I don't do anything.
Right.
I don't think you need to file a motion
Because
to
I
like,
filed a motion to sub and an attorney record in December.
just we'll disregard it
Okay.
and we'll just keep you on it and then whatever you guys need.
Was hired in November, so it supersedes, Eric's attorney record.
Yeah, we'll just
That's
keep
why we
it.
didn't attach you.
Yeah.
Attach him on.
Okay, you're good. Don't worry about it. You're good.
Okay.
Okay, thanks, Eric. Hey. Hi, Bayuji. What's going on with you?
I am approaching on behalf of Mr. Shegun Bada. Good news, he did pay he's on Zoom waiting in the waiting room. He did pay the $840. I was told by Ms. Shatoria that he's been extended for 90 days.
So now we just play the waiting game. Be
Yes,
good
he
for
just
90
has to do his part, which would be
Remain in compliance with the device and stay out of trouble, but he has made his pay.
Great. So I'm not gonna need to see him. You can talk to him
Okay.
and just let him know, hey, just be good for 90 days. Any more issues?
as far as a reset, do you want to do it like you did the last time, like a check point?
Check in, make
Okay.
sure, yeah.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Byron. Frank.
I'm approaching on Noel Castillo or Garcia Castillo is his last.
Okay.
So everything's complete. They evaled it. They gave me a new offer yesterday. They kind of upped it.
Hey, it
Yeah.
got worse.
Yes, I do believe there's some issues here that are not, anyway, I'd like to just set up.
Okay.
Yes.
Sure.
Do I get the trial date from her or?
From Iran.
Okay.
She's in back.
Do I go through? Okay, thank you.
Right, they were supposed to come back because there was a snafu of some sort. Okay. That's okay. It's just as good. Right, that's okay. It's if they get sworn elsewhere, as long as it's a true notary, then it's just as good as swearing here. So just please, are you here for that case?
Yes.
Just please admonish the defendant accordingly that if we catch him driving, it's really not going to go well.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you so much.
This is why I was in the so if you want to sign.
That's a problem.
Yeah, yeah. More time to do this class? Okay. How's the 18th through the 20th? 25 through 20. Council for reset. We still need to go.
Get a tag.
I got a couple.
Thank you.
J-I-A-B. Parents as well.
Yes, I think, I didn't realize that we were attorney on.
Said J.I.
About subbing in for.
Got so much out here that I don't know.
Oh.
J-A-R-E.
Oh, yes, yes. Okay. Students discovery.
Yes, ma'am, but there's no, I think you can do this delivery. Good, files, right? You'll do this.
Is it possible? Okay, so.
Oh, no, we're doing a future thing.
Okay, 12, March 12.
Parents, whatever.
No, I wasn't.
So it looks like our troubleshooting, the deputy.
Yeah, let's do it.
And I have a question. Why did I get a fugitive? Why did I get a fugitive? I don't ever do those.
If you're not on the list, you can't do fugitives then. Or you're not on the, then if you're not on the fugitive list, then you can't do it then.
That's why I'm like, he's gonna wait.
I don't know.
Still do that?
No, you can't represent him. I don't know why you got appointed.
I didn't understand that from the get-go.
You have to be, there's special training that you go through to be on the fugitive list.
Oh, okay.
And if you've not done that, then you can't do it. He can't do it.
Okay, so then I'll have to
We're gonna have to reappoint someone else.
Just.
Who is it?
Lopez,
Lopez Jacinto.
Jacinto.
He's not on the list to do fugitive cases.
Yeah, I didn't.
Popped up on good. I can reappoint.
Please. Hey,
Okay,
you.
I have Timothy Smart. He was on,
Okay.
guy, and I've not been able to get contact with him. Well, yeah.
I got it.
Can I file for, I was gonna file a motion to withdraw on it.
Yeah, I'll revoke it now.
Okay. Thanks, Judge.
This is,
All PTI, I think he's supposed to go check in, just got everything set up and then.
I'm putting his bond at 15,004. That's how many times it's even more than that. Okay, yeah, file it. Just, we'll take you off.
Thank you.
Steal.
Judge, was this off docket? This Corey Bob, driving up to.
We said new. Or favor?
Council for recess.
Shane,
Hi, Judge. I'm here on Mr. Shorts.
short,
Yes, Bill Shorts.
15,004 on.
Um, just, I guess, set it for trial. Do you?
30 days.
30 days?
Yeah, no more. The case is 1,500 days old, so it's
It's just a little bit old, Judge, like
So-
4 years.
like 30, that's it, and it's prep set.
Prep set, okay, just get a date from, okay.
What about March 18th?
Yeah, I like that. Thank you, Ramona.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 5/7 is 3/7 or?
5/7 was a
What's the,
Who? Failure to pay.
So.
No driving with me? He's not here today, right?
Yeah.
Because there was a case that we finished last week, there was a plea, or earlier this week, on Gracia. I can give you the case number. It's 253-8896.
253-8896.
So I filed a motion to return a weapon, but to me, not to the defendant. I spoke to the state, they were.
As long as it's going to you, I'm okay. It's not going to go to him?
It's not coming in, and that's clear on the order as well.
Done.
All right, thank you, Judge. We'll get in. That way I can get a certificate. The clerk's office. Where's your new paper?
Yeah.
Judge, is there any sign for the future?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
What did you say with it?
Sorry, I'm reading an interesting case and it kind of like.
Case one?
Yeah, it's a case where a guy has an offer of a felony case. It's a felony assault of a peace officer, has 2 WIs down here. And so they had an agreement where they were going to dismiss the felony in exchange for a plea on these 2 cases down here. So they ended up dismissing the felony, and then something happened where they ended up dismissing these 2 cases. But then they ended up refiling the felony after the fact. So the lawyers filed an appeal. They want a specific performance of the agreement, but there never was an agreement. Because when you enter into a plea bargain agreement, it's a contract between them you, and we have to accept it. If we don't accept it, it's not an enforceable agreement. And so because those ended up getting dismissed, it never reached it.
Never reached the judge.
Yeah. So,
It's interesting.
yeah,
You had a similar situation with
they were trying to enforce it but it never got agreed to.
That's great. See if it's a, we made a file this not there.
Thanks, Judge. See you later.
Okay, see you, Eric.
See, Judge, how you doing?
Oh, hey, Joe, what's up, man?
This is a dismissal.
Yay, finally something good.
I wanted to brag on myself. Sorry to interrupt you there.
Joe, you're the best.
You always seem in some pretty bad situations.
No, not always, no.
You're perfect. Thank you, Judge.
Good job.
Nice seeing you.
You too.
Council for reset.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Okay. You too. Yeah.
Has he trained coach you slide? Okay.
Hey, Gilbert.
Hi, Judge, how you doing?
What's up, man?
Just running around like always, recovering from a 6-day trial. It's been a while since I put my brain through all that effort.
Oh, what were you trying?
We're trying to sexual assault case, assaulting one former spurned lover that suddenly accuses the ex-lover of
That's a lot of baggage, man.
rape. Just caught too many inconsistencies. The jury ended up finding her not guilty on both counts. That was a bit.
Oh, wow.
I thought the guy was crazy for risking. They offered him a misdemeanor, family injury, bodily assault, 2-year deferred. I said, take it, man. Don't risk the conviction and the registration requirement. It's a good deal. Take it. This is a secure thing for you to go. You may be deported at the end of it.
That takes a lot of chutzpah right there. To go with it, that just unbelievable. What an offer.
Because he had betrayed his wife. It was the wife at the end said, if you didn't do anything, you need to go to trial. And I said, don't let your wife decide that you may have arrested interesting.
That's that takes a lot of,
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, I was worried about him, but,
well, you did it though. You did, good job. You did it,
I felt, I'm 69. Let's just say I felt the wear and tear of being in trial for a week and stuff. You really see the difference like when you're young.
Oh, yeah.
And you can try them, like, I used to try them back to back. I said, not anymore. Those years have accumulated on. I was surprised that the jurors liked me enough. I think they were feeling sorry for the old man representing.
Whatever. What do you want to do with our case? It's old.
I have Angel de Leon.
Yeah.
We're trying to finalize to see if it affects the plea agreement. They're looking at the restitution amount and see if we pay enough of it, the offer may go down. So that's where we are right now.
So where are you? How many times have you ripped it, Alex?
Those are check. Looks like we completed a rip. It's been a while, Your Honor. It was back in July, so we'd have to reach out again just to.
It was a total loss of a car, is what I'm gathering. So we're trying to find out.
Right, we have to confirm the amount, so we have to reach out and we can reach out today and we can see.
Please, it's old, it's time, so.
Anything, we have time, I can step out and see if I can.
No, don't, because he's got stuff he needs to do. So we'll set you off for a week.
Yes, Judge.
Please get the stuff done.
Yes, Judge.
All right, okay.
So find out if they have insurance or not, and if there's a deductible, what that was. And if they didn't have it, what's the total value of the car, and then we'll see what we're at. Right.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, man.
Good seeing you.
You too, take care.
Much time, Judge?
Just a week for them to get the restitution amount.
That is friends. I'm gonna run to court and I'll be right back. Did you? Give me a touch, so can try to be sure. Oh. I have to put all. Yeah, it's okay.
The laws, you were charged with driving while intoxicated. You were facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. Officers were dispatched to a possible intoxicated driver call, and a witness stated he observed the defendant go in and out of lanes as well as make a U-turn on Highway 59 going against traffic. The officers conducted a traffic stop and observed the defendant to have glossy eyes, slurred speech, strong odor of an alcoholic beverage, poor balance, and a quarter full cold beer. Stand and field sobriety tests were conducted, HGN 6 out of 6, walk and turn 7 out of 8, one leg stand 4 out of 4. The defendant contended a breath, and the results were 0.15.
Any priority to be eyes?
No, Your Honor. And I ran his license one moment. Ineligible, Your Honor.
Okay, he has, you're alleging that he had alcohol in the car, correct?
Yes,
While
Judge.
driving? Okay, I'm now ordering you not to drive, Mr. Laws. I'm also going, your case is 1,220 days old. I'm now putting an ankle monitor on you as well. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
If you take off on me again, I'm going to make your bond extremely high. No more PR bonds for you. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or illegal drugs, I'm going to revoke your bond and put you in jail. Can you please appoint him a lawyer? I'm going to have you come up here, swear to us that you're not going to drive. I'm going to have you swear to us that you're not going to drive, Mr. Laws. Do not drive. Do you understand? I'm going to have you swear to us, and then I'm going to have you take your seat in the jury box while we find you a lawyer, sir.
Quick this way. Oh.
Isaac?
Raise your hand. Is your name Brian?
Yes.
Shout out to Isaac.
I'm not driving out. Yes.
You didn't sign it.
I didn't sign it. There you go.
I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it.
Hey, you want to go through the list?
We still have a whole bunch of.
What?
Have you heard from Kimberly?
What page is that?
Page 19.
Did the defendant check in? Okay. Who else?
Carolyn. Okafor.
She was here-
Page 21.
she was here
Yeah, I just
earlier.
saw her. Kim, it was supposed to be at a PC hearing today. She'll go to later, I just saw the, I didn't see her drink box. Judge, page 18. A couple.
Okay. Where's Mr. Jacobo?
Checked in.
Okay.
I was waiting for his bond paperwork to get in it.
He's supposed to be here today though, right?
Oh, his bond paperwork says 2/12, so skip that one.
But what about the DWI?
The DWI is the one he bonded out on. And his bond paperwork says February 12th.
Right, but on the DWI, he's supposed to be here today.
No, Judge, that's why he's on docket today. He was in custody. And so I rolled it. And today he populated on the bond docket, but his bond paperwork said February 12th.
Okay.
He just got out.
SFBF, both of them.
Hello. All right, how are you?
Well, good to see you. Niggas for Jesus.
Yeah, those bond conditions on Proctor, can I delete those or what are we doing with those?
The ones that say hold? Oh, I don't know because Jason said that they wanted to approach on someone with no contact for his previous case. And those were filed by the state, but I just wanted to not post them just in case there was something I needed to add. But.
Yeah, it's just no contact, no weapons, and then the driving.
Yeah, those are already filed on the other one. But I thought he was gonna change something, so I just held it, but I think he left, so we can go through with it.
Good, I can sign it, right?
Yeah, you can sign it and I'll take off the note.
The DOA.
So you did PC on this for the law.
Yeah.
Right, so one person. Got one job. Stole hard line.
Yeah, that is funny.
That's how it gets for the law today. Something that's big. I need to promise.
I didn't mention. Didn't initially spies.
I thought Mr. President signed it.
He signed it, just didn't initially some individual. He signed it. So is it 2 hours?
Oh.
I need one.
And into Guadalupe Arenas?
Be fair. Be fair.
I am. Thanks.
Right.
I told him to come in.
What are you doing?
What's up, man? How are you?
Well.
Good. First one, right?
Okay.
So.
Because a lot, yeah.
Judge, can we approach on camp?
What's the last name again?
Camp. Bill Quinn, Camp, KEMP.
Okay. So what's the word, Thunderbird?
So upon watching the video, I agree with the offense, but it's not really clear. It's all happening at once where you see one moment, the defendant like lunge forward, but blocked. You can't see what he does. And then officers grab him immediately. So you really can't see the grab that the officer says in the OR that occurred. But in the OR, it says there was that grab, and that's why they grabbed him back. So
It's not there, it's not there.
Not there.
you just can't see. It's not saying he's not there. It's just that you can't see it on video. It's obscure. There's people in the way because
So I guess my theory from reading the notes is that when the whole situation was happening with his mother, the gurney was left outside of the house. So the EMS never came inside the house. They were asking the son who opened the door the mother has to walk outside. And he was like, my mother can't walk outside because she's having trouble breathing. Mom eventually comes outside, gets on the stretcher. The stretcher is then taken into the ambulance. The son is running after the stretcher because they're trying to make sure that their mom is fine. What the commotion that arises is that, for me, I feel like nobody knew who exactly pushed who, but it's more of an emergency situation about a child caring for his mom who's having a serious medical issue.
I mean, times like this, when you have a medical emergency, right, it's always chaos. I mean, there's chaos ensues, right? Is he really trying to prevent an EMS person from doing their job?
So you look at the totality of the facts, it's like, how are you supposed to, how is he trying to prevent someone from doing their job when all he's trying to do is make sure that he's helping his mother, who they said, hey, we're not going to come in the house to even bring you in.
Did he pull the arm off?
according to the officer, he just grabbed it and the officer grabbed him at that point. So the reason why it's not really clear how quick it happened. On the video, it looks pretty quick because the officers grabbed him immediately.
But the issue is that the officers arrive at the scene when there is already an incident occurring. They don't know, the officer can't state what happened initially.
Right, but the issue here is that as it's played, it's like the grab of the arm is that interruption or just disruption of the EMS trying to get the mother onto the gurney. And it's not necessary that the defendant intended to do that. It's just that there was that
This is a
disruption.
specific intent crime, so he has to specifically intend to interfere with the duty of that person, of the performance and exercise of what the official is trying to do. That's what he's charged with, right?
Respectfully, this is like criminal negligence. It's not, there's no intentionally knowingly requirement for this. It's just that a disruption occurred through the defendant's actions with criminal negligence. So in this case, he grabbed the EMS, and the negligence would be that a reasonable person should have known not to do that, and that therefore resulted in the disruption of the EMS trying to perform their duty.
But the negligence also didn't pose a serious harm or threat. Like the EMS didn't appear to be threatened. I just don't think it's enough. I mean, even if they were to give us an offer, if we take this case literally to trial, the mom is going to testify as to what happened, including the brother and the dad, because they were also witnesses, which I spoke to all of them. I mean, I'm saying are we going to drag it? Because I just don't see it.
Our position would be that there's enough to move the case forward with probable cause. Whether there's issues for trial is another issue.
I mean, in that sense, he's right. I mean, it's just a probable cause hearing. Is there enough to move forward? Because it's a very low burden, right? Yes, I agree with you. Is it enough to find someone beyond a reasonable doubt guilty? Perhaps not.
And I'm also basing my arguments as what is actually the evidence that we currently have to kind of figure out the confusion on what actually happened that night. Because the videos are not clear at all, which sucks.
It is not clear, so admittedly, our reliance is on the sworn statement by the officer in the DIMS.
So let's look up, because it says here, by grabbing EMS responders' right arm, interrupt, disrupt, impede, and interfere with Sanders, a person employed to provide emergency medical services, including the transportation. I'm sorry, this is what I'm looking at. Did then and there unlawfully with criminal negligence. What does criminal negligence mean? Let's look it up.
Yes, Judge.
The defendant should have been aware of a substantial and unjustifiable risk of harm. Is there substantial and unjustifiable risk of harm in this case?
One moment, Your Honor.
The risk must be so significant that it's a gross deviation from what a reasonable person would do.
I mean, I'm gonna argue that if he was briefly grabbing the responder's arm, it does not create substantial or unjustifiable risk of harm. Being the fact that due to the nature of the situation, he was acting emotionally.
And Your Honor, if we're gonna go that, I'd respectfully ask for maybe 5 minutes to look in case law and see.
Take your time. There's no
Yes,
rush.
Judge.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no rush here. I mean, we got,
Yes, Judge, I respect 5 or 10 minutes and just to look at.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Take your
Judge.
time. Ready?
Hey, Judge. Yes, sir.
Will.
How's it going, Judge?
Hey, how are you?
Good, good. We have Mr. Jashawn Harris on docket today.
Page 16.
Okay.
Judge, I believe all the discovery isn't on the case. The state has offered him PTI, but I've kind of went through the case and kind of gave the state all my timestamps on things that I think they need to look at. I don't believe they're gonna be able to make this case, just based on the stop and things like that. I know the court has found PC, and it's kind of like the issue you were just discussing, a trial issue versus the probable cause issue. It's more so a factual issue of Was his brake lights working? And can you have one defective brake light when your other ones work and still be okay? His tail lights worked fine. It was just, they stopped him for a brake light and he was also in the turning lane at a signal. They said he didn't signal to turn left, even though he was in the turning lane and there's an arrow that directs you to turn. I provided them transportation code and everything for them to look at. I'm not sure if the court wants to set this one at this time.
No, I guess let's roll it to Monday. Take a look at what he has and see if it's something that you can make. If you still think it's good for trial, then on that day we set it. But so you're not interested in PTI then, right?
Don't believe so, Judge. I would.
No, because if there's a possibility that you are, I want him working on the packet now because I don't want to get here sometime later.
Of course.
Well, now we want to do PTI and we're at
Like I
200.
said, I spoke to my client about it. He has everything he needs. He didn't have to do a mitigation packet or anything. It's just an application. And I believe he was already approved for it.
Okay. So let's roll it to Monday. Let me know what you think.
All right. Perfect. Thanks, Judge. Good. Thanks. Appreciate it. Judge, also, my client is present today. Can I have his appearance waived for Monday since he did show up today and it's just more so an issue between us and the state to kind of help?
Sure.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thanks, Judge.
Of course.
Okay, let me approve, Judge.
Monday, all the safety of the look at everything. Friday, that, I'm just, Judge, how long do we?
But she just said, I took this. But I just got a point, so I had it.
Sure.
It is on the Oh, okay.
And all the issues that we talked about.
It's just.
Anna.
Yes, well, it's during COVID.
Oh,
Yeah. So the ball just got dropped. Can I approach Judge? I'm approaching on Laws. Is the last name.
Okay.
He's on bond.
Correct. So you just got it.
Yes, I just got it like 10 minutes ago.
So I'll give you some time to look into it.
Okay.
You know, it's 1,220 days old. So we'll give you a little bit of time. At the next setting, though, he's got to come back here and let us know whether he wants to accept a plea bargain or I guess we'll just set it.
Okay. And just for everyone's awareness, I know it's super old, but this happened during COVID and it kind of slipped through the cracks. It was just,
You can't, there's,
I know, Judge. It's,
right.
It was a weird time.
There's still a criminal case. You can't just evade forever and just, you know.
Yes.
We gave him May of 22 multiple times and he still failed to appear.
Okay.
Of 22. So.
But I will get a reset to take a look at everything.
Discovery complete? Do you have everything? What are you lacking?
Looks like we have everything.
Okay.
Wonderful.
And
So
I think it's a breath case, so I'll do the breath discovery order today and approach on it tomorrow. Just for all the DPS stuff. And then next time we'll,
there's a breath test in this case?
Where's a judge? Yes, there is.
Listen,
0.15.
yeah, if you can file it tomorrow, that way you can get cracking
I'll
on
file it today. My computer's
No problem.
tired, Wi-Fi's, I don't know. But
Thanks,
thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Hey, Owen,
Good morning, Judge.
what's going on with you?
I've got a couple of cases on your docket this morning. They both arise out of the same transaction. We can talk about Rubio, Nicholas Rubio. This is an illegal dumping case being handled by Mr. Goldberg. Judge, I've dropped these cases in the grease. Mr. Goldberg has offered me a pretrial intervention on the cases. In fact, we were here last month. You gave me 30 days to get them into the cleaning green, and I just dropped the ball and didn't do it. Him and there's the other one is Arturo Rodriguez. The case is going to work out, Judge. If you want to set them for trial, I certainly understand.
No, but I don't want to keep just delaying the inevitable. I mean, if you guys are going to do the PTI, let's get on it, man.
We are, Judge. I promise you, I will get it done.
I'm not going to no more long resets. So
understood, Judge. I'll get it in and get it done as soon as I can.
Okay, are they both here?
Rubio's
They should be, Judge. I told them both to show up.
Rodriguez on top of 30?
Top of 30, yes, he's here too, Judge.
Okay, both of them are here now, Owen. So what do we need to do? Do you need to get a contract signed for them to get?
They need to come to my office to sign the actual contract itself, and then I gotta get them hooked into the clean and green.
Oh my God, that's, how long is Clean and Green? Is it like 3 months away or now?
The first reset was 90 days.
I know.
The second was 30 days.
We're not, no more long resets. We'll have to micro. So, Rodriguez, Rubio, come up.
He's a Spanish speaker, Judge.
I speak Spanish.
Judge, I'm texting.
They both are.
No, I'm just gonna, I'll talk to him and I'm only gonna tell him to go to the office this week. We'll roll it to Monday to see where we get for the day.
Judge, I'm gonna be out of the city Monday. I have to go to McAllen
You wanna do Tuesday?
Tuesday.
Okay. Ustedes dos tienen que ir a la oficina de tu abogado para firmar contratos para entrar en este programa. Ustedes, los casos están ya viejos, so te voy a posponer hasta martes. Tiene que regresar martes para que sacamos una fecha para ser clean and green. Tu abogado te va a explicar todo eso. ¿Entiendes? Ok, so quiero cuando tú te vas hoy, quiero que tú llamas a Owen para ver y ir a la oficina. Ok? Tiene que regresar martes. All right. Toma asiento, por favor. All right, so I told them that they're going to go to your office and they got to be back here Tuesday.
Understood, Judge.
In the interim, if you can get a hold of Mr. Goldberg to try to get the quickest clean and green date that you can.
Understood.
Okay, thanks.
Judge.
Tuesday. Yeah. Okay, Owen, you're good.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. John D.
Hi, Judge, I'm just quickly approaching administratively. We have a Spanish speaker who we would like to do a waiver on. This is Abel's case. Antonio has been kind enough to step in per Abel's request to have a surgery. So do you want him brought out for admonishments, which we'll need a translator for? Or do you just want him to sign today?
Yeah, I guess you can just have him sign.
Okay.
Yeah. Hi, John D.
Judge, I need to approach on Mr. Celestino.
Okay.
The last piece of the puzzle got done this morning, which is he went to go pay the DA fee.
Great.
So I am sending that to Brenda Gamaz. They just need to actually just do the contract, signing, because he already turned in the contract.
Do you want to set it like a week to get that
Yeah,
done?
a week. But also, Judge, I wanted to ask him, his mother is here. So basically, he's enrolled in school. He sent me information in school. You have him on a really tight curfew for the last month and a half. And he changed his work schedule. So he's going to be going to school during the day and then going to work afterwards. Since he's technically in the program and they're supervising him with that, can you maybe waive the curfew and all of that stuff?
Program. I'm not, I don't want
So
to.
you can't do, I mean, he has it, he has the school.
Every time we give a little bit of leeway, something happens. And
But so as soon as they technically sign up.
program, he's off my hands.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Until that point.
I can make that happen ASAP.
Yeah, it's up to you guys, but. Well, 60 days.
Well, I mean, he has credit for.
Yeah.
Is it, this a first, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Does he, any priority to be eyes or?
No, he's going to ICE. I think whoever did it just calculated how many, I mean, I can find it, taking it down. I just.
No. It is what it is. It's really, it's not a. Mr. Vasquez, good morning. Sir, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. You guys have worked out an agreement where they're offering you 60 days in jail with credit for the 20 days that you've done.
Yes, Silvino.
You need to understand that this charge will go on your record. It's going to be there for the rest of your life. You ever get pulled over again, an officer's going to see this. If they roll up to your car and they smell alcohol on you, it's probably not going to go very well for you. From now on, you're faced a minimum of 30 days in jail. You understand?
Yes.
You give up a lot of
Usted
rights by
renuncia a
entering
muchos
this
derechos
agreement.
entre este
You give up the
convenio,
right to a
renuncia
trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers.
a sus
If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported,
ser usted del
excluded from the country,
país.
denied naturalization. You give up the right to
Renuncia al
appeal.
derecho de no apelación.
Once you plead guilty, you can never change this.
Verlo.
Is this what you want to do?
¿Usted desea hacer? Yes. Deseando que cabe.
Without opposition to state,
Sí, que
you
suponga
raise
el
a good
Estado.
point. I don't know what's gonna happen in
Yo no sé lo que
immigration.
va a pasar
We
en
reduce it down
inmigración.
to
Podemos
60 to 30.
reducirlo de 60 a 30 días.
You have to discuss that with
Y se
chief.
tiene que hablar con.
And we'd have to refile all the documents.
That's why I added
Veces
that.
no pueden marcarlo y poner un inicial. Dice, él está, le dieron 20 por 60.
And I was just thinking, Judge
Y
brought
estoy
up a good point.
pensando,
I don't know what's gonna happen in
no,
immigration.
no sabemos lo que
I'd
va a
like for it
pasar
to
en
say
inmigración.
30,
Quiero que
if it's
indique
at all
30,
possible.
si una
Dispersion.
posibilidad su primera.
Below a point 15.
Y soplo punto
Vázquez.
5, el apellido es de Vázquez.
How do you plead to the
¿Cómo se declara la
offense?
ofensa de
Guilty,
violación a
not guilty.
¿Culpable o no culpable? Guilty.
I'm going to find
Voy a
you.
ir a lo culpable.
I'm going to suspend your ability to drive for 90 days.
De conducir.
Do not drive until you get a license.
Tengo una licencia de conducir. Okay, sir.
We wrote it like that because he's got 20 days credit.
It's up to you guys. It doesn't matter. It's, we're, okay. All right. Best of luck to you, sir. Thanks.
Señor.
Okay. Okay, thanks.
I think that's policy.
No, I mean, we gotta do what the paperwork says. I can't just deviate, you know? I mean, if they want to refile it, they can refile it, but had two different, you know?
I hear you.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm sorry, do not have my child. It's okay. I'm sorry.
So Timberly, where are we going with your case? Because it's old. What's your guy's name again?
I have two, Your Honor. I have Kendrick Daly, and I was it the parents' wages for now?
So Daly is number one? So
Yes.
it doesn't matter, that's not an old case?
Okay, yes, sir, but she just offered a PTI on it anyway.
Okay, so.
So
still in
I'm
normal
gonna,
setting?
yes, sir. And then on Mr. Johnson, there's a new policy. We were supposed to do a PTI packet, which we did. And there's a new policy that the chief nor I knew about that they just emailed yesterday and said, we have to do an application now. So they just looked it up in the
There's always been
notes.
an application that's due.
I didn't know, but they said something about a new policy and then they have to get this application notarized. I don't know.
So you haven't done that yet?
Well, no, well, we sent it to him last night.
Yeah, but-
So, did you bring the application we sent you?
Yes.
Okay, so he has it today.
So what we'll do is we'll set you off a week
Yes, sir.
to see about the approval or denial.
Yes,
And we'll
sir.
go from there. If it's denied,
Someone just come back and handle it. That's no big.
Okay.
I got it, Judge, I promise.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
hey, a week on that case, Vic.
I heard him say one.
A week on Johnson, where's that?
All right, from week.
I got seen.
What, are you talking to me?
13th is my birthday, and that's gonna be the only case I'm coming down here for, but I wanna
Well,
hand it.
I mean, a couple days before, I don't care.
Okay,
Just a
thank you.
week-ish.
Thank you, Judge.
Yeah.
17th?
Come on, yeah, let's do it. Hey, good morning, Ms. Ortega. Ma'am, you're charged with assault causing bodily injury. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. You guys have worked out an agreement where they're offering you 1 year in jail. This is so weird. It doesn't say that. What the heck is this? Alex, how's this, who filed this?
I do not know. Who is the cause?
Is it just says 1 year death.
Ron, if I had the cause, I'm back to look.
I can refile it.
Yeah, so because
Oh, that's not bad.
we really don't know, is this a deferred? Is,
Yeah, yes, Judge, I'll do it really quickly. It should be done in the next.
we'll still do it and then can file everything later. So we're doing a 1-year deferred though? Okay, so Ms. Ortega, you need to understand that you're entering into a deferred adjudication. This is a type of probation that if you complete it successfully, you do not end up with a conviction on your record, but you can't tell people it was dismissed. You get into a deferred, if you complete it successfully, there's no conviction on your record. You understand the difference? You give up a lot of rights by entering this agreement. You give up the right to a trial. Shh. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. Once you accept this agreement, you are entering into a contract. You either successfully complete the contract or you get revoked. If you do something to violate this agreement, I'm going to arrest you, put you in jail. I'm going to bring you back out in orange. And the only thing we're going to talk about is if you violated the probation. None of that, whether you're guilty or not guilty, none of that matters. The only thing that matters is if you violated this agreement. For you to complete it successfully, you must complete a Thinking for a Change class. Guys, which Thinking for a Change do you want on Ortega? It's 4, right? It's 4 hours. It's a 4-hour Thinking for a Change class. You must do a 2-hour anger management class. No drugs, no alcohol. You must also do a TRAS. This is an evaluation to see what are the conditions you need. If they assess other conditions, you must fulfill them. No threatening, harassing, or abusive contact with a Derek Michael Waters, Alondra Georgina Mendoza. Is this how you understand the agreement?
Yes.
I will make you a deal. If you do well, if you're nice to everybody, and you do your classes quick, I'll take you off in half the time. You can be done in 6 months if you really kick butt and just be nice to everybody and don't use. Don't test positive for dope, alcohol. I'm not asking for much. Do you understand? How do you plead to the offense, ma'am? Guilty or not guilty? I'm not going to find you guilty. I'll withhold that for a year. But like I said, get everything done quick. We'll take you off quick. What do you do for a living?
Oncology and radiology doctor.
Okay. Do you have any children? Okay, you can reduce it. All right, ma'am. Best of luck to you. Thank you, Katina.
And Judge, I also have Ms. Uceda on the docket.
You say that. Okay.
We're waiting on a competency evaluation on her.
How long have we been waiting?
I think December 9th.
You still don't have it? That's really wrong. So, is she here?
She's here, Judge.
Why don't we give it a, where are we going anyways? Do you know?
We're trying to do some sort of informal PTI because of the mental health. There's
Have
an
you spoken to
over.
Brad about this yet?
Say
Have
it.
you spoken to Brad Morris about this yet?
I haven't, but I can.
Reach out to him
Okay.
and see if they're even amenable to it.
Mostly for felonies, but he's talked to me about misdemeanors before, so I can reach out to him.
Well, we see who if it's not him, who's the point of contact that we can actually get through. So for mental health purposes.
I don't think there's one that for misdemeanors, my last conversation with Brad, but he said he's happy to help me if I ever have a misdemeanor
Okay.
case that he can take a look at. So I'll definitely do that.
And let's set it off a week. I don't want to wait long anymore. You know, we should have gotten it by now. I don't understand why it's taking so long. And then if it's not here next week, I'm going to start reaching out to people then. All right? Okay.
Last one I needed to approach for you was Jada Davis. We have submitted an application for consideration of the pretrial intervention. She's going to pay to do her TRAS.
Well, wait a second. Do you want to wait first?
Davis,
You think that she's going to 100% get entry?
she will get it. She has
Is there a blood test or breath test?
it's blood point. Ooh, let me look. She's eligible for
I see
sure.
more denials now. That's why I'm saying I would hate for her to have to pay for it and then get denied.
Makes sense. I'm pretty sure she flies under the radar as far as getting approved. Let me look and see.
Felicia, he still has a curfew. I did not take the curfew off.
Signing the contract. I've already signed it. It's already going through.
They were found in the supervision order today?
Kelsey just signed it. It shall be coming through.
Okay.
No, I got the email. It's happening. I wouldn't let that happen.
I'll talk to the DAs and see where they are with the application, because I sent it to them end of January, January 27th, so they should, I'll reach out to them and see what they say.
For a couple weeks?
That's fine, Judge. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Kavita. John D. That is on live stream. Live stream. I see. Okay. Ready? Okay. Once and for all.
Yes, Judge, and after reviewing the video and reading case law where there's a case Duck and Tell v. State where they describe it as essentially shutting down, even we looked at it, we don't see that here.
Okay, I'm gonna find no problem.
Yes,
with
Judge.
this.
And
All right.
yes, Judge.
All right.
Your Honor.
Good job.
Thank you, thank you.
And I'm gonna tell you, look, from what I read, I was looking at case law as well too, and it said the gross deviation is such that like there was a guy who had a trailer, right? Who didn't put chains on the trailer detached. It was a homemade trailer. It detached and it killed someone. That's a gross
That's why I
deviation. You know what I
posted the
mean?
video and it was just
Yeah.
very brief. Yes, Judge.
You have enough cases.
Yes, Judge. Mhm.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Judge.
Good job.
Thank you.
Is Mr. Kemp here?
No.
He's waived?
Yes.
Okay.
Wow, I told her.
Yeah. Thank you.
Done?
Almost, Judge.
Wrong answer.
I know. So Kavita has two cases.
We've already spoken about
We'll talk to you on the side.
We've already I've spoken to Kavita
Yeah,
already.
she had like four altogether.
One pled on Davis.
The bottom of page 9.
Yes.
Okay.
So a couple weeks, she's going to do the TRAS today. They already submitted the application. They're waiting on their approval.
They just got that this morning.
Correct, right.
The next one, bottom of page 11. You haven't gotten.
I know. I set it off a week. She's going to reach out to Brad Morse. If in a week we don't have the evaluation, I'm going to start reaching out to people.
Okay, bottom of page 23.
Bottom of page 23,
Yes.
that's their case and it's young. I don't need to get involved.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't need to get involved. It's.
You dismiss it.
I,
You like where we're at, basically.
look, your case is super young. You guys got time, whatever you want.
It's always the other way around. Now the one time I need you.
I ain't in it.
Push.
Well, you took the first side, just how about, top of page 26? Is that the one that you read?
Yes.
Bottom of page 30. They strike at call council at multiple times, no response. I sent emails, no response. What do you want to do?
I guess just hold it for maybe, 45 minutes, right?
Okay.
They're really busy. They're really good,
Yeah.
Are you guys on the bottom of page? I'm sorry, not page. Let me see.